For a long time, hardware compatibility was taken for granted. If you bought a new device, you expected it to work with your existing cables, accessories, displays, storage, and peripherals. Over time, that expectation quietly disappeared. New generations of hardware often broke compatibility, forcing users to replace chargers, adapters, docks, or entire accessory ecosystems. For years, this was framed as progress. Today, that mindset is changing. Across consumer and professional electronics, hardware compatibility is becoming a selling point again. And this shift reflects deeper changes in how technology is being built and used. One reason compatibility is regaining importance is user fatigue. Consumers and businesses are tired of replacing perfectly functional accessories every time they upgrade hardware. Monitors, keyboards, docks, external drives, chargers, and cables often outlive the devices they connect to. When new hardware breaks compatibility, the upgrade feels more like a penalty than a benefit. Companies are recognizing that frustration has real consequences for purchasing decisions. Another factor is the rising cost of technology ownership. Devices themselves are more expensive, but so is the ecosystem around them. Accessories add up quickly. When hardware remains compatible across generations, the total cost of ownership drops. For many buyers, especially businesses and professionals, that matters more than incremental performance gains. Compatibility reduces friction and makes upgrades easier to justify. The slowing pace of visible hardware innovation also plays a role. When performance jumps were dramatic, users were more willing to accept compatibility breaks. Today, improvements are often incremental. Faster processors, slightly better displays, or improved efficiency do not feel transformative. In that environment, breaking compatibility feels harder to justify. Manufacturers are learning that preserving what already works can be more appealing than forcing change for marginal gains. Remote work and hybrid setups have also amplified the value of compatibility. Many users now rely on complex setups involving multiple devices, docks, monitors, and peripherals. Hardware that works seamlessly with existing setups saves time and reduces frustration. Compatibility has become part of productivity. Devices that integrate smoothly into current environments are easier to adopt and easier to recommend. Businesses, in particular, are pushing back against compatibility churn. Corporate IT departments care deeply about standardization. When hardware maintains compatibility, deployment is faster, training is simpler, and support costs are lower. Breaking compatibility introduces hidden expenses that go far beyond the device itself. Vendors that prioritize compatibility are increasingly favored in large purchasing decisions. Regulatory pressure is another reason compatibility is returning to the spotlight. Standardization around connectors, power delivery, and interoperability is gaining momentum. This encourages manufacturers to align around common hardware interfaces rather than proprietary ones. While companies still differentiate through design and features, basic compatibility is becoming less negotiable. Sustainability concerns also contribute to this shift. Forcing users to discard accessories creates unnecessary electronic waste. As environmental scrutiny increases, compatibility becomes part of a longer product lifecycle strategy. Devices that work with existing hardware reduce waste and extend the usefulness of accessories already in circulation. This resonates with consumers who want upgrades to feel responsible, not wasteful. Hardware compatibility also reduces learning curves. When accessories behave the same way across devices, users do not need to relearn workflows. Familiar ports, connectors, and standards create continuity. This matters not just for convenience, but for trust. Users are more confident upgrading when they know their setup will still work the next day. Another reason compatibility is becoming a selling point is reliability. Established standards tend to be well-tested and stable. Proprietary or rapidly changing hardware interfaces can introduce bugs, inconsistent behavior, or quality issues. Compatibility with proven standards signals maturity and confidence rather than experimentation. In a more cautious market, reliability often beats novelty. Accessory ecosystems themselves have grown more sophisticated. High-quality peripherals can be expensive investments. Users expect them to last through multiple device generations. When new hardware supports existing accessories without compromise, it protects that investment. Compatibility turns accessories into long-term assets rather than disposable add-ons. Manufacturers are also realizing that compatibility strengthens brand loyalty. When users build an ecosystem around compatible hardware, they are more likely to stay within that brand's lineup. Breaking compatibility risks pushing customers away entirely. Preserving it creates continuity that encourages repeat purchases without resentment. Another important shift is how differentiation is happening. Instead of using incompatibility to force upgrades, companies are differentiating through build quality, efficiency, software stability, and support. Compatibility becomes the baseline, not the battleground. This reflects a more mature competitive environment where trust matters more than lock-in. Compatibility also supports secondary markets. Devices that work with common hardware retain value longer. Resale, refurbishment, and reuse become easier. This benefits consumers directly and supports broader market health. Products that age gracefully are more attractive than ones that become obsolete quickly due to artificial limitations. It is also worth noting that compatibility does not mean stagnation. Standards evolve, but more gradually. Improvements are layered on without breaking what already exists. This approach allows progress without disruption. Manufacturers are learning that evolution often delivers better long-term results than abrupt change. From a messaging standpoint, companies are starting to highlight compatibility intentionally. It is no longer assumed. Being able to say that new hardware works seamlessly with existing setups has become a feature worth advertising. That alone shows how much expectations have shifted. The return of compatibility as a selling point reflects a broader change in consumer priorities. People value stability, predictability, and longevity more than constant reinvention. Hardware that respects existing investments feels respectful of the user's time and money. This shift is especially visible in professional and enterprise markets, but it is spreading to consumer electronics as well. As devices become tools rather than status symbols, compatibility becomes part of perceived quality. In the end, hardware compatibility is becoming a selling point again because the market has matured. Users are no longer impressed by change for its own sake. They want upgrades that fit smoothly into their lives, not upgrades that force them to start over. Compatibility signals thoughtfulness. It tells buyers that the product was designed with real-world use in mind, not just technical ambition. In today's technology landscape, that signal carries real weight. As hardware innovation continues at a steadier pace, compatibility is no longer a constraint. It is an advantage. And that is why, quietly but clearly, hardware compatibility is once again becoming something companies compete on rather than break away from.